I love hearing this word pronounced by a French person. So sexy. One of the most underestimated topics. A therapist asked once, would you have an affair if you knew you would never get caught? The answer to that question shows an honest self-assessment. Everything that comes from laziness brings catastrophe. If you want a real freedom, then you need to die. And I don't say this from the place of judgment, but from the place of logic. As long as you live in the physical world, there are rules. And rules are not for losers. One of the reasons why infidelity comes in is when rules are bent or they don't exist. Lack of rules brings betrayal. We commit to never spoken rules, usually within ourselves. Many make rules in silence, hoping they will be noticed. Pacts in silence don't count. Then comes betrayal of trust, which comes from unspoken rules. Out of fear, rules are not negotiated. I am negotiating with you what's good for me, and you are negotiating with me what's good for you. So we can fall into an agreement what's good for us. Rules require communicative vulnerability, something more than I cut your balls when I cut you. So rules are not for losers. Russian roulette is. What is sex? A part of a cliché movie scene where both are removing their clothes, kissing half naked on the bed. How about sex when she waits for him in a black suit, wearing nothing under, leaning on a black car, in the middle of a 45 degrees desert in western Uzbekistan, and she goes, no one touch, he's mine. In one act, we experience aliveness, novelty, playfulness, imagination, desire, eroticism, creativity, and risk. Your senses produce so much that you can feed a camel. Infidelity begins when home alone, with dishonest self-assessment. Once you are not honest with yourself, you are not honest with the rest of the world. Life is happening from you, not to you. Most of the problems we create ourselves. So instead of focusing out there, focus in there. There is a difference between sex and a fried chicken. Like there is a difference between coldness and eroticism. Coldness makes us do it under the bedsheet. Eroticism makes us do it everywhere. Trust is what makes us feel powerful, vulnerable, and sexually free. So eroticism is a matter of vulnerable emotional investment that create a romantic dark pleasure. Because emotional investment is less than the one to the significant other. How about learning to love without any unhealthy emotional attachments, so we can be partners and lovers at the same time? If you do the work, you can have everything. Being glued to each other like a Polish ham brings lack of space. Space is needed to look for the unknown. Leonardo da Vinci sold Mona Lisa for $25,000 and nobody gave a crap about her for 400 years until someone stole it. Madame Mademoiselle is worth $860 million because there is a story behind it. So let's make a toast to the stories. Money doesn't buy value. The story behind does. So what's the point in this story? Story. Infidelity comes when secrecy kicks in. Who remembers hiding stories from the very young age? Raise your hand up. Uncovered secrets are devastating and leave an open wound. Sexual erotic vulnerability is achieved when the walls are down and a safe called shameful past is unpacked. No one is a safecracker, and that's not a heist. One kiss in the light of erotic vulnerability can be more pleasurable than sex. Most affairs are not about sex, but about being wanted. Who doesn't want to be taken on the kitchen table, seeing a fire in his eyes that you woke up? Wouldn't you feel alive? Me, for days. Taking eroticism out of sex by looking for loopholes instead of points, it's like taking ermine out of Da Vinci's painting. The lady stays, the ermine is gone. Desire is sustained by restriction, not manipulation. Where have you been last night? I'm not sure I remember. It's not that you're not sure, but you lie. I'll text you tomorrow and then no text. It's not that you didn't text, but you play a classic emotional game. The more you push away, the closer I get. Hope dies last. How about this instead? You come back home one day earlier from a business trip during his working hours. When he comes back home, you wait for him with his favorite dinner and a lot of candles, wearing nothing. Making him not know what to do first. Eat you or dinner? How much does it cost you? Nothing. How much does it give to us? Everything. Apart from an act, you make someone feel meaningful, noticed, and remembered. Eroticism is sustained in erotic vulnerability. Do you want your partner to sexually belong to you? Do you want your partner to be dominated by you? Do you want your partner to sexually overspoil you? Thoughts, turns-ons, guilty pleasures, fantasies, and sexual dreams need to be spoken and negotiated. Unless there is a way to hand it over on a USB stick that I'm not aware of. It is very important to understand that someone's sexuality doesn't belong to us. Owning it, it's like trying to take a sausage out of a hot dog and still call it a hot dog. Sexuality needs space, like fire needs air. Fear of vulnerable intimacy brings men to use prostitution, and payment allows them to have no emotional investment. Even Tony Soprano needs to be a vulnerable boy and lay down on his wife's legs. A random fried chicken has many more meanings than sex, usually connected to secrets and unwanted truth. Unspoken truth is like heavy farts. They follow you everywhere you go. Nothing happened. That meant nothing. That's true. Sexually, nothing happened. Because deep down there, they just went out to look for parts of themselves they have lost. Infidelity begins once you have an emotional closeness you shouldn't be having. It is already a moment to ask yourself, what am I missing? And come back to your partner with an answer. Not once it's done. Once thoughts are there. Always ask yourself, what am I emotionally missing in this relationship? Or is there something I am missing in this relationship? So if sex is not working, come back to the emotional part. And most likely the solution is around parts you've been avoiding the most. Fear everything and run. Or face everything and sex.